All right, hi everyone. Thanks everybody for actually coming and staying. I see it's a packed room. It's great. We've had, actually standing room, actually room only. I just want to get a show of hands of how many, folks here have owned actually Bitcoin, and how many people here have owned or do own a altcoin, which is a new ICO. Okay. Does everyone here know what the ICO is? Show of hands. Okay, so this is like a new altcoin coming on the blockchain. There's multiple types of blockchain now. These are the folks that are doing what the last actual gentleman was actually talking about. They are starting to create the products and services on the blockchain. And this whole thing is about who do we like better, okay? So at the end of this, we're gonna have this basic applause meter that we have someone actually programmed actually someplace. We're going to bring all the candidates, all the contestants, or whatever you want to call them, up here, and then we're going to just go one by one, and there'll be a semi-finalist and then finalist. And I'm not sure what the actual kind of award is, but I know that we do have something in mind. It might be a free next actual presentation at the next conference that we hold in the Caribbean on Coin Agenda, or actually Singapore, which will be coming up in the next couple of months. So let's get started. So the first contestant, or the actual first person up is Zed Networks. Alan Safahi, please come up. Give it the hand up.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. This is Alan Safahi. I'm founder and CEO of Zed Network. Hopefully, we'll get the slides up in a minute. Zed is a platform for money transfer operators. There are currently about 250 million immigrants that live in a country other than the one they were born with, like myself. And we send a huge amount of money back home every year. According to World Bank, it's about $600 billion a year. And many of us use Western Union, MoneyGram, Ria, or UAE Express. So, good, okay, so we went through that. And, but what many of you may not know is that those 4 top companies only comprise about 25% of the remittance market. The other 75%, or $450 billion, is transmitted through thousands of smaller remittance companies, money transfer operators, I call MTOs. Here's an example. There are tier 2 and tier 3 companies that send 75% of all the remittances. These companies are under a lot of pressure. They have a lot of issues such as banking. They're always looking over their shoulders, worried about their bank. They don't have a lot of cash. Whatever they have, they put in compliance just to make sure they don't lose their banking relationship or their license. And they also can't afford to invest in technology. So what Zed is planning to do is to help these money transfer companies compete with the top 4 by giving them a platform that competes and allows them to be scalable. Basically, it includes a turnkey solution, web app, mobile app, back office, AML compliance, all of that. We created the best solution. We're going to give it to them for free. And we're also letting them send money to each other using our coin, which is Zcoin, that will be issued in the near future. And they can do that also for free. We make money when the value of the coins hopefully go up with volume. So that's at least the assumption. So it's based on a distributor ledger. We created the coin on top of Stellar. I'll talk about that in a minute. We are creating, issuing about 100 billion coins. We're going to be selling 21 billion of those in the coming months. We are currently in the private pre-sale stage, and next month we hope to go into pre-sale. And we are selling only to accredited investors in US and Canada. That's because of regulations. We are fully compliant with the SEC and Canadian state authorities because we are a Canada-based company. Let's see what else. Why did we choose Stellar? Stellar is a fork off of Ripple. You guys must have heard about Ripple. This was a few years ago, forked off Ripple. They made a lot of improvements to it. The CEO, Jed, is also on our advisory board. It's a lot faster than Bitcoin or Ethereum because there is no mining. It's all pre-mined. And also, every single coin that we issue is KYC'd, so we are very friendly with regulators. We're actually working with the regulators to issue our ICO in Canada. And as opposed to Ripple, we target the low end of the spectrum, the money transfer operators and credit unions, whereas Ripple targets the upper echelon of the financial services. And all of our coins are KYCs, as I mentioned. This is the team. Matt McCain, our compliance officer, actually writes the compliance policies for many banks in Canada. You can see some of our advisors, 30 plus years in remittance. Hugo, Susan is our legal advisor and used to be former head of SEC. You see Michael Turbin is here, and Enzo, and Jed McCaleb I mentioned, and Jim Griffin used to be the head of currency trading at Wells Fargo and Union Bank. So these are some of the partners we have. I would appreciate any support you guys give to the immigrant community at this stage in this environment would be very much appreciated. We need to support these money transfer operators so that if they go out of business, the rates will go up and it would affect all of us. So thank you.
So wait, hold on. So I want to ask you just one thing. Just tell them something about yourself personally, either business-wise or actually personal-wise, that they may want to know about.
Well, I left Iran just before the revolution. I've been in the US for 40 years. I saw firsthand the problems that's caused by the regime back there. Sending money home was very, very difficult. My parents lost all their money. But, it created a passion in me to help immigrants. I see what Western Union and others are doing to the immigrants by charging them these high fees is really, I think, unfortunate. And I've found out through a lot of research that if you reduce the fees by 1%, you create millions of jobs in those third world countries that can help them keep more of their money, and they can help them have better water, cleaner, better health, cleaner water, more medicine. So a lot of key performance indicators go up when you help reduce that remittance cost, which last year was about $80 billion in fees. So we help reduce that our goal is with Zed to get it down to zero. So, once we do that, then, we don't need to give foreign aid to these countries. The money goes directly to the bottom of the economy where they can really help use it.
Great, awesome. Yeah, thank you. Great, thank you very much. So, this goes back to, that was great. Thank you. So this goes back to to actually redefine money and banking, and I think it's a solid idea. The next company up is Alpha Token. Dr. Wallace Lynch, please come up. And actually, Dr. Lynch, please tell them first something personal about yourself, and then you can go on to your slides, okay?
Sure, great. I guess from me, the message is, what is the equality of our life and time, all right? So this is something that I really, really want to bring it to everybody. Let me have a question. What does Kim Kardashian, your grandma, and some kids in Bangladesh have in common? Anyone can tell me? All right, so no matter how rich you are, how smart you are, or how brilliant you are, we all live a 24 hours day, right? In terms of time, we are absolutely equal. We cannot make time, but we can make time valuable. This is the point of Alpha Token and Alpha Browser. So we have been spending a lot of time viewing our cell phone. As of now, I think at least half of you are looking at your cell phone, right? All right. But Let me ask you another question. Do you ever get a dime from the time and attention you spend on those commercials that you spend a lot of time on? Do you? Right? So this is what Alpha Token and Alpha Browser, the product we presented to the world, can bring it to you. So we help content viewers to earn money with their time and attention spent on the commercials. This is the first thing. The second thing, our Alpha Browser and Alpha Token help people to maintain the ownership and the pricing decision to publish your creation. So for content creator, it's hard to cash out their talent and creativity. And we help the content creators to make money and take control of the ownership of their own creation. And the third thing is really, really exciting. Anyone make advertisement with your product or your shop or whatever? Do you know how expensive the advertisement is, especially when you go mobile or internet? We will help the advertisers to make direct connection with the end user, and we charge them $0. So Alpha Browser is a crypto browser for digital content. We benefit all participants in the content economy. For providers, we give them the tool and ecosystem to make money 100%. We give the viewer the first time the ability to earn money. And we also give the advertiser the direct connection to the users. And we charge none of them nothing. We take no cuts from nobody. But how do we make our system sustainable? So this is how ICO is going to kick in and the token sale. So can we go to the later stage? So yeah, the slides come a little bit later. The consumer basically cash out their time and attention to earn money. And the content provider gets money 100%. And the advertiser goes through us without any cost. And the time is the value, is the life of ours. So Alpha Token is helping all the participants of the content economy to gain values. And yes, we are doing our token sale, pre-sale at this stage. And this is how you can find us. So Alpha Token, we are building a future content-based economy with everybody. And we are letting everybody to make profit. And we are sharing the content economy platform with everybody. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Great, thank you. Great, thank you again. So I'm going to wait till they put the slides up because it's a little bit annoying back there. So the next one is actually Larry Sander. He's actually Everypedia. If you don't know actually Larry Sanders' name, or he is the founder of actually Wikipedia, and he's building something on the blockchain. Pretty exciting stuff. I'm going to have him actually come up now, and if we can tell a kind of personal story, hopefully the slides will be up by the time that you finish your sentence. Okay. Thanks.
Awesome. Actually, that's precisely what I was planning on doing, is essentially telling the story of why I joined a new startup with some guys that are fresh grads from UCLA, ballers as they call themselves. And so my name is Larry Sanger, and I'm co-founder of Wikipedia. And so I would like to briefly tell my story of basically how I got involved with this. So, because I believe I'm supposed to be limited to 4 minutes, I'm going to skip over this. All I'm going to say here is that we have redesigned the encyclopedia for 2017. Just have a look at the website, and you'll see some significant differences with Wikipedia. So I got to know the guys in 2015. First started talking to them just a couple of months after they got started. And I've been observing their progress ever since. They tried to get me involved, but they didn't have enough money to pay me. But I've been really impressed with their progress. They have built Everipedia into a top 1,000 site in the United States, which is pretty damn good. They have added 1 million articles to the 5 million article base that they started with. The articles have been taken from Wikipedia. The license allows you to do that. And together we have raised $3 million in VC funding. And so all of that, I think, is pretty impressive. But you might wonder, is it really enough to get me involved? Let's see here. Just trying to advance the slide here. Doesn't seem to be working. That's all right. That's all right. I came to them basically 18 months ago with an idea. I actually visited them in Westwood, in LA, where their office is. And I gave them the following idea that I wanted to execute with them. What if we were to gather all of the existing encyclopedia articles that are now online and put them in one place and to create a platform where they could all be rated, and where users would be able to share information about themselves, so you'd be able to see what the rank ordering of all of the articles are for a particular topic, according to experts, or according to women, or according to French people, or whatever, right? So they weren't that interested 18 months ago, but then they came back to me 4 months ago and said, you know what, we're thinking of moving Everipedia to the blockchain. And we might actually be able to execute your idea. So I was really excited, and I joined them. And I'm going to, I'm almost out of time, so I'm not going to explain this too much. But we are going to be rewarding and mining tokens based on labor in the system, and that will empower people to make decisions about how the blockchain is governed. And then, because it's on the blockchain, the project will be immune to censorship by various hostile regimes. And so this is why I'm actually quite proud to join this really energetic group of talented coders and ballers. So please check us out, everipedia.org, and register and support us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so most of these new ICOs, they're either in their pre-sale rounds, which means you have to contact them on a private level. Again, you have to be actually kind of accredited investors in order to do the pre-sale round, the private sale rounds, and then some of them are in the crowd sale round. So just the best way to do this is either contact them or like go to their website. They'll have a page there and everything. The next one up is Rivets. Stephen Sprague. And Stephen, again, a little personal tidbit, and then go in.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming, and thanks for waiting for us. Enzo asked for a personal tidbit, so I'll give you a personal tidbit. I have the proud title of the 1987 girls downhill ski champion, because under Title IX, there were only two guys in my high school class, so they let us race on the girls team, which was really quite excellent. So anyway, with that, something to remember me by. So what is Rivets? Before this set of panels, we had a conversation about how do machines have money. This is how machines have money. It's really important to understand that in digital money, we've actually been screwing up for about 30 years. Everybody feels safe in your e-commerce transactions so far. Everybody knows that you can't take your EMV smart card, plug it into a laptop with a smart card slot, and shop online. We have the opportunity now to fix this. And what Rivets is about, I come from 20 years of the trusted computing space. We've helped ship 2.5 billion devices with hardware security already in them. And we're now putting that to work using the blockchain as a mechanism to give you truly advanced cybersecurity going forward. So security is not an add-on, security is built in. And so we've shown some of the most advanced cybersecurity transactions ever done in e-commerce on a blockchain a year ago, October. So what's the challenge? A known device in a known condition with a known set of controls and a known user. And so that it's actually about managing devices and not just the user identity. The device is what forms the instruction, whether it's in an e-commerce transaction or it's an IoT instruction. And so our devices are going to need money. But as part of needing money, we're also going to need to control the policy. So we introduced the concept of the RVT token. And the token is not only how we fund, but how we operate cybersecurity controls so my device can ask, am I allowed to spend this money? And then my device in its trust systems inside the silicon of the chipset, on today over 500 million phones already deployed, we can then release the use of those funds. So we can ask any question you want. I could ask, are you still an employee? I can ask, are you in the nuclear submarine? By the way, it doesn't have to be for just a blockchain transaction. This can be part of how do we log on to Gmail, or how do we authenticate to any service. What's fundamentally changing in the architecture of the network, and you're going to see it on the show floor, is that we're shifting from ports and passwords delivering service to a world where services are delivered based on the identity of the device, not the user. It's not that you need to remember passwords anymore. You just have to be aware whether or not you lose your phone. So these technologies are already built in. We have all the components of the new European Payment Security Directive embedded in a Samsung phone today. Trusted display, trusted input, isolated processing of transactions. We can put the capabilities of a hardware blockchain wallet inside hundreds of millions of devices, both PCs and phones. The Apple guys need to get their act together. They need to open up Apple Pay so that all of us can play within that space. Or Apple needs to go build the technologies to make this possible. I don't really care which. So we're building an ecosystem for RVT. This is an ecosystem of services and partners, and we use the value of the token to compensate for those services. So we're really trying to explore a completely new economic model for the delivery of software and service, and the idea that a machine might have money. We've signed a bunch of partners so far. We actually completed our ICO back in September. So we've successfully are building a team. We showed our first product on December 31st. The team promised it would be done before the end of the year. They were running out of time zones. But they delivered it. It was great. And so we have the first product out there in a closed beta, and we'll be expanding on that during first quarter. And I'll end with a thought, which is this is a new business model for security. If you're going to have your device automatically spend, it has to do it with a policy that you, the owner, control. You need to tell your device about its allowance and what it's allowed to spend its allowance on. Otherwise, any good-looking bot coming by is going to strip all the money out of your phone. So this is an opportunity for a new model of machine-to-machine money with policy, controlled by the owner of the device, so that we can, before a transaction is spent, assure that the transaction was intended. With that, thank you very much.
Yeah, we have some really kind of like just great entrepreneurs doing things that are really, really special. So next up is BlockSafe. Kevin Barnes and Dwayne Jacobson, please come up. And again, just a little personal tidbit about each other that you may want them to know, like maybe you were the luge champion on the girls' team back in 1965.
I'll see that on YouTube very soon. Thank you. Hi, my name is Kevin Barnes. I'm the CEO and founder of BlockSafe Inc. and BlockSafe Alliance. Basically, I had the passion to develop a blockchain-centric defense network to focus primarily on gun safety, seeing that it's becoming more and more prevalent that things are connected to everything we see, including firearms, believe it or not, scopes, silencers, things of that nature. So we see the gangs, activities, guns being stolen, so we figured at least we get a GPS on a lock and someone to use it, maybe our guns won't be stolen and put in gangs' hands. So in the meantime, we had a token sale in Bitrix about a year ago. It was successful. And ever since then, we developed a team up, and a lot of piloting is starting to come our way as the branding and our message getting out what we're building. So I'll hand it over to our manager of fintech. And
hi, everybody. My name's Dwayne Jacobson. I am heading up the fintech operations of BlockSafe. And I wish we had our slides up. Do I need to do something? But anyway, let me start. You notice the word safe in BlockSafe. So we are a blockchain. We're focused around safety. Our mission is to ensure that personal rights are protected and maintained, and that people with devices that protect lives. It's really, really important. Our vision is to lead in the innovation of the defense industry. We are a registered defense contractor in Georgia as a company. The team is made up of developers like Kevin, fintech people. Yeah.
I'm just playing with your shoulder.
Oh, thanks. Manufacturing and development people. So we have some partners that are involved in the product right now. We have over 40 letters of intent for partners. Justifier is a personal black box video system that you put on your firearm. That's a partner on this. Trigger Smarts enables you to disengage or enable your trigger on your firearm. And Gun IRE is a full-fledged personal data management system that allows you to protect and control and inventory your firearms and connect them to the Internet of Things out there in a very secured and safe way. In 2018, we're going to bring on some new partners, but I have an announcement that I want to talk about. So let me just bring that up real quick since we don't have slides. So the announcement here is we're happy to announce that BlockSafe, Inc., a technology development company tasked with scaling of the triggers our protocol, which is also the ICO we did last year, and the holder of the triggers, and the trig is the TRIG, triggers. We are the holders of triggers intellectual property, are taking all the necessary steps towards being publicly traded in both the USA and Canada. So the last few months have been an amazing journey for all of us. We're ready to expand the BlockSafe community. Defense is really important to all of us, and safety is really key here. We are secure, competent counsel and advisors, and are well equipped to become listed on global stock exchanges worldwide, and are sharing this information in advance so that our community may prepare accordingly. Our goal is to continue to extend the reach of the fintech, the reach of triggers protocol, and to continue be a leading fintech company inside and outside of the cryptocurrency space. Please follow us on social media. We're happy to talk to any of you. We're really excited. BlockSafe, the future of defense. Thank you.
So that's cool. They're going to go public. You know, being someone from NASDAQ for actually many years, it's good to see folks still using the actual public markets because they've kind of dried up. The next up is actually Osher Coin. So it's David Avatel and Dominic Morocco. Please come up and give us a little personal tidbit and then hopefully your slides will be up by the time you finish. Okay?
Hello, everybody. Well, a little bit about myself. My name's Dominic Morocco, and for the last 10 years, I've been traveling the world as a professor of technology commercialization, most notably in Peking University, China, and actually here at UNLV in Las Vegas. I'm with David Avital, the inventor of the OSHA plug, which you'll see very simply, hence no need for slides, how many problems this technology will solve in innovating the mining function today. As so many have spoken about, the estimated power usage is around 120 terawatts dedicated to mining functions of cryptos today. And as we move to a decentralized mechanism, it's important that we remember the dependencies and, in fact, the centralization that these dependencies provide, namely energy utilization and bandwidth. Well, David's fixed that problem. As the inventor of the original PC plug, he's now turned his adaptations into mining. Let me introduce the OSHA plug for mining. Uses circa 30 watts of power, capable of mining 15 to 25 mega hash. It's GPU based, so non-ASIC, hence it mines Ethereum. Very, very simple to use. Plug 1, 2, as many as you want into regular consumer outlets. Download the app, authenticate the plug onto your network, you're mining. It has an adaptive ledger board, so you can either dedicate the particular crypto that you would like it to mine, or let it make deterministic decisions of what it should be mining for you, maybe based on price. Decentralized energy. So many have spoken about today. I'd like now to pass it over to David.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to introduce OSHA Coin. My passion is to make things simple. Talking about mining is all about, techie. It's too complex. You see cables, you see boards. And I've been thinking how we can take everything and package it into a one plug that can just plug to any power outlet. It can generate $30 a month around the Ethereum. And of course, anyone can generate and mine the cryptocurrencies he wants. So think about it as an app which is seamlessly connecting to your Wi-Fi network. You can start immediately mining. You can manage through your app anytime, anywhere, several plugs. Could be in different locations, and thinking about building, plugs, a mining farm, and we want to make it simple. So we're just, we're inviting anyone to participate in our ICO. It's open, oshacoin.com. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So actually mining, you could just stick that thing inside your plug and you can mine. So please stay until the end, because we do want to have the actual winners with the applause meter. Thanks. Next up is ETL. So actually Dr. Michal Kurtertz, please come up. So a story about him is that he came up with this coin, or the actual concept for the token, based on a actual car accident that he had in Thailand, and they could not read some of the actual documents that were needed. So they had, so he decided to really focus on this. So thanks again, and you're up.
Thank you very much for this great opportunity, and thank you everyone for joining our presentation. We are going to improve the lives of 1 billion people by making healthcare more transparent. Prior to AtHill, we started a startup, docris.com, when we connected doctors and patients. And currently, we serve 2.5 million visits in Hungary and Brazil. And we solve two main problems: helping patients to find doctors and helping doctors to find patients. And this is a shockingly real issue. So there is no structured, standardized method or place where you can compare doctors across national borders. So, audience, let's get real. Imagine this scenario. You or your spouse is experiencing a complex pregnancy, and even twins are coming. And the doctor in the US is available in 2 months, but there is a specialist in Canada available in 1 day. How do you know? There is no common way of presenting where the doctors are located, when they are available, what they specialize in, and how much do they cost. Even with this lack of information, medical tourism is skyrocketing. It will reach $500 billion by 2025. Imagine what will happen if patients will have the correct data. I will show you some examples. A lot of people all over the world come to Hungary to get dental care. And there are even bigger hubs, like Thailand with its $4.7 billion. And also, even there are some countries that specializes on a selective care. For example, a lot of patients from the Persian Gulf go to South Korea to transplantation surgeries. And there is the other side. The doctor's issue is to get the best patients, who they can have the most, in the right time, the right location, and in the right amount. So I was talking about the problem. Let's talk about our solution. We are going to use the global power of blockchain to bring better healthcare to 1 billion people. Why blockchain? We are going to decentralize the reviews, because we think it's unfair that doctor listing sites delete all the reviews of doctors if they stop paying their monthly fees. So we have 3 phases. First, we are going to expand to 5 to 30 countries. The second one is monetization. And the third one is to become a fully fledged blockchain platform. We already have signed contracts with huge clinics. And we offer benefits to doctors. For example, an AI-based chatbot to reach doctors with appointment opportunities. We have a global team from 8 countries, having experiences in companies like Google and Bank of America. And also we have an advisor who is a Harvard Medical School alumnus professor. Our team has a strong background working with enterprises and startups, and we won Effie Awards and the Deloitte Technology Fast 50. Our community has several thousand members and quickly expanding. According to our ICO, several industry observers ranked us at the top of the pack. We have 2 early strategic investors who built and exited their company that sells $56 million worth of services. My technical co-founder, Victor, led their full code refactorization that led to dramatic success. Victor also developed our smart contract that was successfully audited by Blockchain Labs New Zealand. We have some epic to-do still our main sale. And regarding our token structure, I would highlight 2 things. The first one, all the team and founder tokens are vested for 4 years with a 1-year cliff. And we have a 10 million token holder reward. We reward contributors who hold their tokens for 3 to 9 months. And I would also mention that we have successfully reached our minimum cap in just under 5 hours. Thank you very much for your attention. And we have a fan airdrop going on right now. If you send your Ethereum address to this email address, we will send back to you 1 HEAL token. And just one last thing, we are expanding our advisory board. So if you are if you would like to join at HEAL, and if you would like to talk with us, please, you can find me on this email address on the next slide, or you can talk with me here. Thank you very much.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. The next one's actually Fusion Blockchain. Eli Gollum, please come up. Please advance the slides. So tell everyone a little bit about something personal, and we'll let you go.
Awesome. Right. Does that work?
Well, first of all, I was wowed by some of the applications I've seen, so it's great to be here. I'm Elie Galam. I'm a mathematician, and I immigrated from France to study mathematics at Harvard in grad school, then developed quantitative strategies for trading, and along the way, I fell in love with blockchain for the technology as an investor. So today, I want to tell you about a group of people, a group of innovators that have thrived to create new blockchain protocols over the year. The project called Fusion. Do you want to move the slide? It's all right, it's me. So the team behind Fusion is a group of Chinese gentlemen that have already created, yeah, it's okay, 2 other blockchains. The first one is Quantum, ticker is QTUM, Qtum. It's a blockchain with a market cap of more than $6 billion. Then they created a second blockchain called VeChain that has partnered with industrial behemoths like Givenchy and the French car maker Renault. And today they're announcing a new innovative blockchain called Fusion. No? All right. So it's okay. So blockchain, as you know, already exists today. You have Bitcoin that allows you to transfer wealth from one person to the next. Ethereum lets you build smart contracts. The bank are doing blockchain to do KYC for their clients, to validate trades on-chain. Government, central banks, they all use a blockchain for specific needs, but they don't talk to each other. It's very messy, and as a result, people don't really use it. Imagine it's like your Chase bank account would only let you pay for electricity and not for water bill. That's kind of the word of blockchain today. Blockchain either ignore each other or compete with each other. So what's Fusion? Well, Fusion is a public blockchain that creates interoperability between existing and future blockchain. It's not going to compete with any blockchain, with any application. It will partner with all existing blockchain and foundation to create a common platform where you can build smart contract on all blockchains. It will let you tokenize everything around you, link to those tokens and to any digital asset, gain control of those digital instruments, and build smart contract with them and with others. So, I mean, and it's a little technical, but that's kind of fun for me. What's hard about that, about building that protocol that you control tokens, that if you have a Bitcoin today that you own, and you want to give the control of that Bitcoin to something else, and you have an Ether, you want to give the control to something else and have them linked together, well, you have to give your private key to that other controlling blockchain. And that controlling blockchain is public. So you want to give it your private key in a way that none of the nodes of that blockchain know what your private key is. And that's very hard to do technologically. So what the Fusion team has solved, the way they've solved it, well, is to decentralize the control of your private key across the nodes of the network. The way it's done is that the Fusion blockchain can create private key by itself and can store private key within its nodes without any one of those participating nodes knowing what your private key is. When you have that, like a puppet master, you can control Bitcoin, Ether, any token, any digital asset or tokenized car, and use that platform to create smart contract. As a person, as a company, can build any application. So I don't have the slides about all the technology, and that's okay, but just to conclude, because I'm out of time, I would love to spend a lot more on the team. So DJ Kwan, who is the lead, is the CEO of Bitsy, the company that created Quantum and VeChain. He's also the co-founder of Kernel Blockchain. On the team, we have Goldman Sachs partners. We have a lot of blockchain experts, and I think that's it for me. Thank you very much.
So I'm going to come up with a new actual blockchain firm that's going to be able to actually put the PowerPoints up really fast. You guys are all involved. I'll give away tokens. I'll do it like an airdrop. Yes, of course. Of course, they do everything right. They're the customer. The customer's always right. Yes, they will. You know what? Everything will actually be online, and you know, I would say just go to their website because the websites have a lot of information, and then the white papers. You want to read the white papers. That's really going to give you the depth of everything that you want to know, and always look up the advisors, because the advisors are really key. And it's good, and most have a mix between the crypto world, and they also have people who are what I would actually consider in the mainstream like vertical that they're working in. That's one of the keys. So all of the ICOs here, and actually, you know, just actually tokens that have launched already, they all have partnerships, and that's the key, and why we're actually doing this. So, and I think it's a safer bet for you, or a safer kind of, you know, opportunity. I don't want to call it an investment because it's not. So next up is B token, Alex Nafee. So come on up, Alex. Hopefully they have your slides up.
I have one slide, so it makes it easy.
One slide, guys. One slide.
And there's a, yeah.
All right, awesome.
Blockchains are incredible because they have the ability to turn networks into marketplaces, and you can be rewarded for your full marketplace activity. B token is a decentralized Airbnb. And in current centralized models, the rent seeker, which is Airbnb VRBO, can charge 10 to 22% off the rentee transaction. Using B token, that goes to 0 through the peer-to-peer marketplace. So B token has an incredible team and even a more incredible community. Our project leads, our business development, and our advisors, ex-Uber, Facebook, and Google, and Amazon, advisors, ex-ICOs, and some investors from Silicon Valley. What really makes B token interesting is the aligned incentives between the two-sided marketplace. So in the traditional model, the centralized model, only the early investors and the founders are really rewarded off of the transaction. On a peer-to-peer, you're actually, if you're a member in that marketplace, you have incentive to use the token because you really reap the rewards of that network effect, as opposed to going to an early founder. You owning the token is your participation. So we're built on a 3-stack protocol: payments, reputation, and arbitration. So the B token will go into a escrow when you check in, and when you check out, leave the property. It'll settle, and there's an arbitration phase. Oh, you broke the lamp? No, I didn't break the lamp. I may have broken the lamp, but it'll go into arbitration where people can stake B token and decide if there should actually be a fee. So how B makes money actually is the users can pay some B token to get priority listing advertisements on the platform, and further, you can actually pay in fiat for a 5% fee, and in BTC or ETH for a 1% fee. But using the B token, it effectively goes to 0. So further, the roadmap, we're scorching the earth in San Francisco with early evangelists and people who have property. So get that early traction. And our Telegram community is blowing up. We have almost 11,000 users community members on Telegram, and we're concluding our ICO on January 31st of this month, and we're raising a nice round. So we would love your support, and you can follow us at btoken.com. Thank you. Please.
Thank you. Okay, so we have 2 more left. Wings is up next. We have actually Dominic Zionis. And actually, Dominic, I'll tell you his actual claim to fame. He did the first ICO, so or worked on it.
I worked.
he was part of the team. You know, these guys are very humble, which is good. But Dominic, just actually say something personal, and then you're on.
So, you know, I actually tried being a comedian, but I failed because I couldn't get anyone to laugh. So that was actually a joke. So all right, so Wings, you can check it out at the latest one that we have is testnet.wings.ai. And so when we started this project several years ago, you know, I always felt that ICOs and the kind of decentralized organizations they are building are going to be sort of the next wave of organizational technology in the world, how we can connect people globally in commerce or for, you know, other purposes as well. But as most of it is around commerce and extracting value from people that we weren't able to connect with before, right? So whether it's something like BToken, which is getting value from people being able to share their houses, or other folks doing antivirus, for example, getting virus definitions from the crowd, or all sorts of other kind of business models that we'll see. The cool thing is that all of a sudden we don't have to set up 100 corporations in different countries to try to go global. We can literally, you know, if we can design a proper protocol, we can go global with the help of the crowd. And so what Wings is about is that realizing that, and that there's going to be a lot of these ICOs, how do you help the average man and woman that might be interested in renting their house know that something like BToken is legitimate, right? And the way what we thought about it is like, well, let's use the power of this technology, which is using the power of crowds, to tell us if a particular ICO opportunity is legitimate. So there's a curation function. And what is the value of that particular ICO? And so we've done 35 of these so far in the latter half of last year. They've raised about 430 million, which is about 14% of the total. So we've been able to now train the crowd, where we're developing in the beta that you would see in the testnet, a reputation system for the forecasters. And that's important because it allows people who are funding to follow particular forecasters who have a track record, and it's all transparent on the Ethereum blockchain. And it also allows the projects to gauge, you know, how much are they going to raise? Are they going to meet their metrics that they believe, you know, the amount of money that they need for funding to take this particular project to a global stage or to a global level or not? And the next things that we are doing in the next year are basically the beta is launching. We've got automation of the smart contracts of when people are actually able to create an ICO contract themselves. We don't think that everyone's going to use that. Probably for the smaller deals they will. For the larger ones, they can still upload a contract. And the crowd is going to be able to sort of, you know, look at these things, think whether they're legit or not. And I would encourage you that if you are an advisor, or if you're running a VC fund or family office, that you check it out, because we do have you can at least look at the data and see what the curation is saying of the crowd. We've got real VCs from fintech blockchain group, one of the biggest VCs in China in the crypto space, Bitmain, Coincilium, and several others already inputting their data on the platform. And if you want, you can also input your data as well. So again, check out testnet.wings.ai. And thank you very much for the opportunity to present.
Okay, so the last one, and that's so let's come up with. So once the last person comes up, then we're going to bring up everyone in two groups, 6 and 6, or really 6 and 5. So actually, Native Token, which had paid to come here, could not be here, so I had to just skip over them. But you know, if you are interested, just go to Native Token, just like kind of Google actually Native Token. I don't really know what it is, but if you want to look at that one too. The last one, last but not least, is New Alchemy, and that's Peter Vicenis. Please actually come up and a little personal tidbit about yourself, and then you're ready to go.
Hey guys, thanks. Personal tidbits. Well, I said earlier I sold most of my Bitcoin at 6 cents. I'll say it again. It's worth like a second moment. It's worth a second moment. My very first interaction on Bitcoin Talk was asking if I could redo the pizza transaction with the guy who sent 10,000 Bitcoins in exchange for 2 pizzas, and he was like, no. So. What is New Alchemy? New Alchemy is a company that helps other companies ICO, and we've been involved in a current market cap over $5 or $6 billion of tokenizations in the last year. We're happy to help. If you work for New Alchemy, just want to raise your hand right now. You can come talk to anyone with their hand up. Not you. And that's all I want to say about that. I want to spend this time talking about Deluge, which is a little bit different in that we are not raising money for Deluge. We're actually going to be giving away money. So keep your ears peeled. And I'll explain it now. Deluge, in one sentence, is the value of Bitcoin, power and speed of Ethereum. And what I mean by that is this project actually will let people take their Bitcoins. They'll lock them off in a safe kind of escrow account. They'll be able to cryptographically prove they did that without any third intermediaries, and claim what we call DBTC, Deluge BTC, in Ethereum. That's a Bitcoin-backed ERC20 or ERC223 token. It will have a number of other functionalities. You can use it in ICOs. You can just send it. If you ever want, you can burn it. You can take your DBTC, talk to the smart contract, say, I'm done. I want to go back to Bitcoin proper, and then provide this cryptographic proof back on the Bitcoin chain, and your Bitcoins will be released. Now, we think this is really cool. If you're new to the industry, you might not care. If you've tried to actually send Bitcoin to someone in the last few weeks, you're like, this sounds really great. So we think this is something that exchanges will benefit from, individual users will benefit from. Any wallet that's an ERC20 wallet can now hold Bitcoin. We're not religious. We kind of have been through that period of our lives. So we'll take Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, Monero. We'll do Zcash, we'll do Litecoin. All of these things will be coming, and they'll have a Deluge. They'll have a Deluge equivalent. So that's the first part of Deluge. There is a token associated with it, which we're calling the D token. And what we plan on doing is giving it away. So if a lot of groups are quote airdropping tokens, that's a giveaway. The way we're going to do that is the first, I don't know, we're still figuring out the numbers, but maybe first $1 billion that's moved back and forth, we'll get a claim on some of these D tokens, and those will have a claim on fees for the Deluge network. So that'll be cool. It's just a way to get the community in. So up front, anybody who wants to try it will get to try it. And that's launching, it was originally launching in February. It's pushing out a little bit. We're just trying to get everything tied and teed. But at the end of the day, we hope this will make the ecosystem better in kind of this way that people who've been in crypto know we need, and faster, cheaper. But you still get this kind of value story if you want it. And that's that.
All right, so now we're going to just vote. Well, not vote. We're going to do this actual kind of applause meter. The folks who are doing the slides, I'm going to let you off the hook, and I'm going to say thank you for doing the slides and doing all the hard work and everything a little bit later. So it's going to take about 30 seconds or less, hopefully, to actually set this up. I was going to have, so we can do all of the kind of 11 companies come up, and what I'll do is once the actual screen's up, we're going to put them kind of underneath each of the bars. And we'd really appreciate it if you stay and help us choose the finalist for the SlugFest. And then we are going to have, everyone is going to leave, and we're going to set this up for the party, for the actual catering and so on and so forth. And then everyone's invited back after about 20 minutes. So go out, do SU bio breaks and so on, do emails, and then come back and we'll have a nice catered event and whatever. Okay? And then you get to meet everybody and have a conversation and learn more about the blockchain and so on. All righty, we're almost, people are leaving. Come on. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hey, Michael, do you want to come up and like say anything, or does anybody want to come up and say anything? Anybody?
I do. I have to invite Michael back for his last thoughts, and I want to thank a couple of people. Synchrony. Synchrony sponsored a lot of the reason you're sitting under a roof today. So Synchrony Financial, thank you. Coin Agenda. What can I say? You add a level of dimension to a conference that I've never seen. CoinDesk is our immediate partner, and I can't thank them enough. And I'm forgetting one person, Wowza, who's put the whole thing onto Facebook Live, so you can watch it over and over again if you missed anything. So and now I'm going to just have Michael introduce the applause meeting.
Okay. Testing. You were off the whole time, but okay. One thing I will say is that this was frustrating to some extent with the slides. I give you that, but I just want you to think of it as half of the course for this crazy, amorphous mass of human beings that are driving this crypto world. It has always been a seat of the pants endeavor, and it's one of the reasons why I love these guys and I love this whole community. So nothing's ever going to work perfectly in this place, but crazy shit is going to happen, and it's all going to be fun. So thank you very much for being here. Now's the time. I don't know how this is going to work. But that was the applause for me. So apparently I get the applause. Do I get to run on this? No, I don't.
Yeah,
okay.
no, you can do
I'm
it.
not launching an ICO. But take it away. Yeah, let's get it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh God,
Hello?
they're cutting us
wait.
off.
Hello.
Is it me? Try this.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
There you go.
All right. You know what? You can do it then.
All right. So what am I doing? I'm just going to say.
You're gonna just say. All right. So first.
All right. Here we go.
Wait. Hold on. So first we need a baseline. So we need everyone to clap for the entire ICO, every person here, and the market and whatever.
You hear that? Okay. So now there's the baseline. Everybody clap so we know what the comparison is. As loud as you can. I'm not sure that's what's supposed to happen. No, look, we just blocked safe. Just got. Sure that's not all right. That's not what's supposed to happen. Like I told you, it doesn't always go so smoothly in the crypto world. So all right, now we're off. Okay, so should we do that again or do we?
It sounded like a good level, so let's go.
Okay, great. All right, we're good.
Now, hold on a second. Now, when you say their name and they start clapping, you cannot say anything.
I can't say a word because it'll happen. I get it. All right. So first up, Zed. Okay, very good. You're safe. All right, good. Yeah. Now, a token. Everpedia. Rivets. BlockSafe. Usher Coin. Ethiel. Fusion Blockchain. B token. Wings. And finally, New Alchemy. Wow. Okay, that was yep. The last out of the gate looks like 579. Ethiel 498 in second place, and maybe Zed in third. I can't quite read from here. So is that accurate? Can I? Yeah, Michael.
I don't know, Robin. Did you have anything here?
All right.
Well, actually, no. Well, Coin Agenda is the sponsor, so I will give the top 3 winners free tickets to any Coin Agenda this year, and
okay, there we go.
Free tickets.
Right. Now we literally have to go. So
$2,500 a piece.
$2,500. It's not nothing. This is not chump change.